Hello and welcome to This and That, and today we have Stevie Mallan on with us. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Nah, not a problem.
Appreciate that. And how are you doing anyway?
I'm good. Summer's coming around, so I enjoy myself. Back up the road for a little while, been down in Salford for the past 2 years, so it's good to be home and back with my dogs and things like that, so I'm actually glad to be here.
Glad to be in. You had a good time. You were away to Benidorm as well for your stag do, innit? How was that?
It was not much I can see on camera, but it was carnage. I've got quite a lot of mental pals, so it was. I don't want to see them again for another few weeks. I'll just leave it at that. So, it was brilliant. So it was amazing.
That's good. And just to get started, as you say, you've been down in Salford for the last couple of years. So how was your experience at playing with Salford? I know it was a bit plagued with injuries, but overall, how did you think it went?
I loved it. I genuinely loved it. It's hard to explain in terms of the injuries. The first season was incredible in terms of it's 50-50. So the first half of the season, I was injured, had a daft injury, tore my plantar fascia on my right foot, and I didn't. That was the last pre-season game that I'd done that, and then I didn't come back until the February of that same season. So up until then, it was a nightmare. And then from the February, when I came back until the end of the season, thankfully I was in the team starting. We were on a good run and got us into the playoffs. And sadly we missed out in the playoffs to a very good Stockport team. But it was an incredible season, the first season anyway. Even get to that point, that's the highest ever finish for Salford. The boys in that season were unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then obviously this season, a bit of a letdown in terms of the way we played. I played every game up until November, December, and done the exact same injury on my left side.
So opposite foot.
Done the exact same thing, and I've never heard of it before in my life until now, and it's been a nightmare ever since. Now obviously I'm out of contract. I'm still working with the physios and stuff like that. So after the summer, I'll need to go back down, deal with the physios again till the end of maybe July, and then try and obviously get a club. But all in all, honestly, I loved it. Loved the experience. Loved the staff. You get to meet a lot of obviously big names like Scholes, Neville.
I was just about to ask that actually. Like that. Did you deal much with this sort of class of 92, the sort of owners, or were they sort of involved as heavily as you might have thought? Or
things changed for the full 2 years. So when I first went in, I think that's when Gary was start to take a step back. He was very full on. I think the seasons previous to that.
Yeah.
And I feel like he thought that it wasn't working because he was that full on. So he kind of took a step back, and obviously he had the what do you call it? His show with Sky with Keane and all that.
He's getting overlapping. He's got different. It's not even that Monday night football. Saturday night he does everything.
So he had that. So he kind of took a step back. But what happened was, Ryan Giggs, Nicky Butt, and Paul Scholes took more. So Paul Scholes went to head of recruitment.
All right, okay.
And then I think Nicky Butt and Ryan Giggs took. Giggsy was head of like the medical side, and he kind of overseen them, making sure everything was going well. And Nicky Butt was like overseeing the football side. So you kind of see them more on a day-to-day basis, which is incredible. Like, I've actually got a funny story. Like, so one of the first, Scholes was always my hero growing up. Always my hero. One of the first stations I had just signed, and we trained at a place called Littleton Road, which honestly it's like an old man new training ground, but it's not been taken care of. So it's literally the grass was solid. Like it's like a car park with a bit of grass in it, right?
A KG5.
Pretty much, yeah. So like we're all training, and then this is the first time I've seen Scholesy. So he's obviously walking towards us and stood watching us. We're doing patterns of play. So I've been played down the right hand side, about to cross it, and obviously Scholesy's standing right next to me, and I've stood on the ball, rolled up it, nearly done a backflip, and then at the full play just started laughing, and I'm like, I can't even believe that.
In front of your idol.
In front of him, I'm talking, I'm like, I'm honestly not this bad. I swear.
You can bring me both feet, I swear. I'm honestly usually.
We'll go to a shoot drill if you want. Like, I honestly couldn't believe it. So that was literally my first interaction with Scholesy. But all of them are brilliant. Like, they're just down here. They would invite you to go play golf and things like that. Like, they were so nice.
Did you take them up in any of the offers for golf?
It was actually Scholes that said it to me and the boy Callan Henry if we wanted to play, but both of us were like, he takes him an ass. Like,
you want to embarrass yourself right across the ball, you know, like go embarrass yourself playing golf now.
Exactly. So we never ever took him up on it, but the offer was there, and like you said, if he ever needed anything, they gave us all our numbers and said, like, look, if you ever need anything, so like, always appreciate that.
Right, that's good, because I wasn't sure if they would be sort of more backseaters, you know what I mean? Just obviously,
I think that's what,
but obviously, members start to do that now. You've still got.
I think that's what they kind of swapped. Gary kind of took a step back, and then like, especially Giggsy and Butty, they came in and they were kind of, you see them more maybe the second or third day run about.
Yeah.
The schools ain't not that much, but it was just to kind of help the manager make sure the club was running okay and things like that. And like you said, if anybody needed any help, any tips, like you could see Giggsy talk to a few of the wingers there, stuff like that. So like the help was always there.
Hope he was giving them advice in football and not something else. And just with Salford, obviously you played with Barnsley as well. You've played at the Championship, played in a few of the different English leagues. You see a lot, sort of, especially online, mostly from sort of just your standard Englishman sort of laughing at the standard of Scottish football. How would you compare your experiences between probably mainly the Scottish Prem and the different leagues you played with in England? I know what
you mean. I'd say in terms of Scottish football, there's such a wide variety in terms of like Celtic Rangers is like top end Premiership. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then you get like your Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeens. You'd think they would be able to do good in the Champ or top end League One, but I think the difference between the Championship, especially when I was there, albeit it was 7, 8 years ago, just the physicality was incredible. Like when you come up against other midfielders or wingers like them, they're like 6 foot. Albeit you get your ones that are a little bit smaller, but they are so strong, so physical. Something that I've never ever been. I've tried, but just never ever got there. Maybe that's that.
Lucky you get a technique and then you get by some other ways.
That's exactly why I'm probably still not there. But I'd say the difference is just the physicality. Yeah. We obviously got a few players from like kind of League One England a few years ago when I was at Hibs. Yeah. And they've done pretty well. So you kind of would say like the Hibs version was kind of League One, maybe a low end champ. And then obviously you get your teams towards the bottom of the league. But from back then when I was playing till now, I feel like the SPL's got so much better.
I think in the last few years,
if you look at St Mirren, like
massively.
If you look at St Mirren, like years ago, they were always like the main aim was stay up. That was when I was there. The years previous, always stay up. Yeah. Now it's like top 6. Things have changed. Like different. Like Hibs have got bottom 6. Some went up 1. Hearts have kicked on. Do you know what I mean? Aberdeen's come down, but they're still a quality team. So I feel like when I was back in the SPL, like 4 or 5 years ago, I feel that the quality's got a lot higher. Yeah. So it is hard to gauge because I'd say a lot of teams are like kind of like League One as well, and maybe a few like League Two. But I feel like when you go to that kind of towards the Championship level, I feel like people are just physically so much stronger.
Just that sort of slight level above. Aye. And obviously, you also had a wee move to Turkey as well. How was that experience? I know it didn't quite go to plan, especially with the wages situation and everything, but what was it like overall? Was that experience?
I honestly loved it. That's the reason why I went back permanently. So it was a January when I was at Hibs. It was actually through Instagram it came up. So I was actually meant to join Salford on loan that January. I think it was 2021. I was meant to go to Salford and it fell through. They ended up getting a couple of boys instead because I was humming and hawing whether to go or not. Yeah. So I got an Instagram DM for 2 guys and I was like, this could be a lot of rubbish. So I messaged them back and I said, look, this is my agent's number. Yeah. I said, if as if it's true, give them a call, blah, blah, blah. Mate, within a week, I was in Turkey. Aye. Mad. Went there, obviously, we were in the Turkish Prem. Was brilliant. Like, we had to try and stay up towards the end of the season, and we've done that. The boys are brilliant. Up against Gareth. I wasn't playing at Hibs. I was on the bench under Jack Ross. Like, I wasn't doing too great. I just needed a change.
Because the previous season you started really well at Hibs. Best goal scorer.
I done that. The first couple of seasons I done well, and then that kind of third season I was kind of in and out of the team. We brought a few boys in, and my performances weren't great either. So, had the chance to go out on loan, and me and Jack Ross spoke about it. And they said that it was a good option, and it was only a 3-month thing. So I was like, I need to go. And plus, everybody was still working from home then as well, so I wasn't missing much. So I went, like you said, first game scored, came out the team for a couple of games, and then, like I said, started the games like Fenerbahce, Besiktas, Galatasaray, and I'm like, how am I here? Like, I couldn't even go away in Motherwell. And I'm
So now you're playing in a huge stadium.
And like one of the mental things was that season, Galatasaray, last game of the season, had to beat us. I think it was 3-0 to win the league against Fenerbahce, and we scored first and it finished 3-1. So there was carnage after that game because they lost the league to us.
We had just stayed up.
We had just stayed up, and I'm like, wow. So like that happened, and then when I was leaving, they were like, "Oh, we want you to come back permanently." And I'm like, at the time, I was like, "I'm no chance. Sure. Like, I want to go back to Hibs. I've got another year there." And went back to pre-season at Hibs. Had a chat with Jack Ross. Jack Ross was like, "Look, you've come back. You look fitter. You look stronger.
Yeah,
I can't guarantee you play." He said, "If you stay, you could fight your way back into the team, blah, blah, blah." But then the offer came through from Turkey to go permanently. And I was like, right, I should go.
Yeah.
I spoke to my missus. Obviously, she's going to stay. She's a teacher here. I was like, look, financially, if it all comes through, I'm nothing I'm going to get Scotland or England unless you're a top quality player. I kind of knew my limits then. So I was like, look, I need to go. It's at least 2 years maximum. 2 years maximum.
It's a good chance to take anyway. You know what I mean? It's an experience, especially as well.
It was. I don't regret it because if the money, touch wood, eventually comes through, it helps us to.
It'll be a good payday eventually.
It's money, like I said, it's money that I wouldn't get here.
Yeah.
So if it, touch wood, eventually comes through, it will be worthwhile.
Yeah.
In terms of the football, loved every minute of it. The only thing downfall was the living environment wasn't great. No. The city that I was in was
what was the city?
It's called Malatya. It was kind of the east side of Turkey. It's just not dead like that. It's a city, but you don't have any bars. You don't have anything nice shopping, anything like that. You're kind of secluded a little bit.
Nothing to actually entertain yourself really once the football's done.
I took my message over for New Year, and when she came over, she was like, "I can't believe you stayed here." And I was like, "I know." We went to Istanbul first, and Istanbul's obviously a lovely city. And I flew her over to Malatya for like 5 days, and she was like, "I can't believe this."
She's going to pick up like I'm away from
Malatya. I'm only here for the football. I'm here to hopefully earn a few quid. I said, then I'll be home. So it is brutal, but the football's really good. Yeah. And then obviously the payments were coming and stuff like that, and eventually I end up leaving in the February. So, but I don't regret it because it's an experience that I would never ever had if I never played football.
Yeah.
And albeit, the money side wasn't great, but the football was incredible, and I got these opportunities that I thought I would never be able to do.
Yeah. So, as you say, you're obviously still got to recover from that injury. Past that, what's your sort of immediate plans? Obviously, you're saying get a club. Would it be back up to Scotland you're looking to come?
Yeah.
Or are you open to...
I was open a few months ago, but I do feel like I want to come back up to Scotland. Like I'm not getting any younger. Plus, I feel like I've not been in Scotland or Paisley or whatever for a few years now. And
Paisley's felt it. Breeze closed and everything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They've been missing your money. They've been missing you getting paid to come in and fund them.
I was there to be fair at one point, but
I still wanted the pre-team.
But no, I generally do miss being back home. I miss being near my family, my friends, the dogs, everything. Like I have spent a few years away. Like it's different. I feel like a lot of boys in football know this. It's like, does it outweigh what you're earning from being away from home?
Aye, actually,
because like
your family and stuff.
The money that you're earning down in England, like kind of the level you're at just now, like especially I'm at, is what you would probably be earning in Scotland. But what a lot of people don't see is like when you go away, finances change in terms of you have to rent, you have to do everything else. So it's like you have to think of these things as well if the move's good enough.
Aye.
So I think I would probably be pushing more towards back up to Scotland and hopefully be more settled. And I do miss the Scottish football. I miss the SPL. I miss going to like say your Hibs, St Mirren's, Parkhead, Ibrox. So I do miss that side of it.
I could see, maybe not right now, I could see you in MLS. I could see if they're on there talking up the tan and everything like that. You poster boy, maybe in Miami.
I would love that.
You want to give him a wee call?
I'll need to
See
phone
if anybody's listening, Beckham.
Aye.
If you're... Well, actually, you know what I mean?
Aye.
Or something like that. Yeah, but listen, can you put us in touch with Bex?
I'm still mates with Lewis Morgan, obviously, and he's absolutely flying it there. So
he started really well this
I'll
year.
need to give him my phone to see if he can get us in.
New York, I'm sure the missus would mind that as well.
True. As long as the dogs can go over, I'm pretty sure she would come.
And overall, then in your career, what's been your best memory in football so far? What's something that you look back on fondly?
Look back on, I think there's a couple. Early days was that year we stayed up with St Mirren.
Yeah.
I always loved, like, honestly, man, that was we definitely shouldn't have been where we were at.
Yeah.
And that especially the championship towards the bottom, looking back, you're like, how the team we had was so young, especially the first half of the season. So when Jack Ross came in, it absolutely worked wonders. So, but that run that we went on, one of the best I've played that I like in my career. Yeah. Incredible.
That was a great season, wasn't it? That was a huge
incredible
day.
that last
happy day for myself as well.
Even some of my mates still talk about it. That last day was incredible. The night out, even better. That was phenomenal, honestly. I don't think I thought I'd like praise it. You'd think we would won the league, but just we stayed up and the fans still came out, which was obviously brilliant. There was obviously that. A few, like, winning at Tynecastle at Hibs was under the lights was phenomenal. We beat Hibs, we beat Hearts away 2-1. I loved that night. Darryl Horgan scored a couple. That was incredible. Got, like, playing at Besiktas away and things like that as well was frightening. But probably more recently was the playoffs. Right. We got to the playoffs with Salford. I've never been involved in like a playoff type thing to get promoted.
It's a big event. I've done this at the playoffs. I've just watched the ones that have happened there. It's quite happy. Southampton game was really good as well, to be honest, when I just watched. But it'd be amazing to be involved in it, I'd imagine.
Well, actually, 2 minutes away from Wembley, that's the thing. It still kills me to this day. Like, after that game, it's the lowest I've ever been in football. Honestly, like, I've never felt anything like it. Obviously, we could beat penalties, they stopped for it. Yeah. The full thing, the full two, like, I think the first leg we won 1-0, they had a lot of players missing. We should have just went for the jugular and got 2 or 3. That would have definitely helped us for the second leg. They brought back a lot of players for the second leg. It went to extra time, went to penalties, and I missed a penalty. And thankfully, I wasn't the only one. There was 2 other boys that missed. So it's not too bad. But that was the whole experience. That was unbelievable. The downfall was we missed out in the Wembley. And I feel like if we went to Wembley, the way we played, the massive pitch, we would have baffled Carlisle. We beat them 3 weeks previously away and done really well. And I feel like if we went to Wembley, we would have definitely got promoted. So that's the only heartbreak I'd say I've had in the football as well.
And just with the Euros approaching then, who do you fancy for the Euros? If you get any sort of, who would your call be if anybody wants to put a coupon on?
I definitely do believe that Scotland will get out the group. I feel that we've got a lot of quality. When you look at the teams in it just now, I feel like Scotland could get out the group. So that's probably one, definitely. I'd put my money on that. In terms, it's always England and France. Everybody talks about. It's always the same for years, and you can't really see because of their teams. It's hard to see past.
Loaded with talent, isn't it? It's hard to, the players that are missing out in their teams are players that are on the bench.
Exactly.
Like
Rashford can't even get injured. Things like that. Like, you've always got your Spains in at least, but in previous couple of years, never had any massive names that stood out. Like Spain have always been known for their midfielders and strikers and stuff like that. They're not. So I would say between England and France. Hopefully France.
See, I don't know. I know they've not been great the last few tournaments. Obviously, a home tournament. I think Germany can be.
Yeah,
they can be good.
You'll be able to see how we obviously we're opening game, isn't it? So it'll be good to see how we open up against them, see how they are. But I still feel like we could do well. I feel like I do.
It'd be good to see. Nation will be buzzing.
Exactly.
Right, just to finish us off, a couple of wee multiple choice questions. You just give me this or that.
Right.
So we'll start with Buddy or Bear.
Canny.
Oh, you need to choose one. Come on, you need to choose one. They're no listening.
I'll say Bear because my missus would say Buddy, so I'll say Bear.
There you go. Don't leave one. Don't leave one out. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Glasgow or Paisley?
Paisley.
Paisley, we are loyal.
Aye.
Night in or night out?
Night out.
Night out. Anything in particular?
Dinner. What do you mean in terms of out or?
A night in, it doesn't need to be full on mad session, just it could be a few.
A night out, but a day session, that'd be my thing. I always love it. I don't like the nights, I like the full days.
Well, the thing is, you wake up the next day and you usually feel quite alright, whereas when you're out for the duration, it can be a depressing Saturday or Sunday, whatever day it is.
Exactly.
Cole Palmer or Phil Foden?
Foden, all day.
Chinese or Indian?
Chinese.
Would you rather win a Champions League or a World Cup?
Oh, World Cup. The chance of
Scotland winning it.
I've seen the chance of me winning the Champions League, but Scotland World Cup.
I mean, St. Martin, can see that again.
World Cup, 100%.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox. Xbox.
That's a poor choice. I can't agree with that one.
In the full 2 years I've been in Salford, generally, I've been Call of Duty for 2 years. Honestly.
What is it, Warzone you've been playing?
Warzone and Resurgence, everything, rank play. I know, getting a bit deep, but my mates for school to this day still on Xbox religiously at 9 o'clock at night. Because I'm on Mallan, I play it all the time. So
keeps you occupied.
Now that I'm back home, it's in the cupboard because I'm not allowed it. I miss it, people I miss it, but it's been Xbox all day.
St Mirren or Hibs?
St Mirren.
Love that.
I've loved both clubs, but St Mirren gave me everything.
Yeah.
Aye.
And then to finish off, Jack Ross or Paul Heckenbach?
Jack Ross.
Aye.
But Jack Ross.
You've been with both of them twice, haven't you?
That's a tough question.
Did he sign you twice?
No, Hecky bought me at Barnsley, and then I was already at Hibs, and then
he came. I wasn't sure because
that's a tough question. Both of them are honestly phenomenal. But I love my time with Jack Ross. Aye.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for coming on, mate.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, and there we are. Boom, I can't even